Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how to apply for a baby's Nigerian passport in the UK based off of our recent experience and how it went, the chaos of it all. Just in case you want to know what documents you need, how the interview actually goes, and what you should actually bring or how you should prepare yourself for the entire process on the day, then this video is for you. So if you're interested, let's hop right to it. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. My name is Ayo and I'm a GP trainee currently on maternity leave and navigating the entire process of transitioning back to work in a couple of months. I have a lot of videos around motherhood in the NHS, so you can check that out, okay? So like I said, in this video I'll just be talking about our most recent experience, literally about a week ago, of getting our baby's first Nigerian passport. And you always have to go for a first Nigerian passport or for a renewal of a Nigerian passport if you're less than 18 years. Always remember that when you watch people's videos, it's literally just their experience. Requirements can change from time to time, so it's very important that you always correlate the information that you're getting from a video just like this one with what is on the Nigerian High Commission portal. Alright, if you're doing something similar to what we've just done, getting the first time passport for a baby, then it's very important that the first thing you need to get is the national identification number, which is your NIN. And this NIN basically is given by the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. And while you might think that you have to return back to Nigeria to get this, you really do not, because there are lots of centers in popular or major cities within the UK where you can actually have this done at a particular fee. The fee varies from center to center, so I don't think you should rely on like a single person's experience. Just go on the NIMC website. I'll put the link below in the description. You could always check whether there is a place close to your city and attend, or check their website and find out how much it will cost. Usually it's about less than £50, but like I said, don't quote me. Go check their website and find out what they're actually costing it at. Once you have your NIN, which it should be ready in a couple of weeks because it's a fresh one and it doesn't really cause so much of a hassle as compared to someone who's actually changing their name like I did. I feel like that's a bit more complicated than a fresh application for an NIN, which is a lot more straightforward. So once you have that, you can then proceed to going on the Nigerian portal, because the initial page that you have to pass through is having your NIN with your baby's date of birth before you can even proceed to the application. So I'm just going to go through the things that you would need for this application process so you can get everything together, because it's quite a long process and step by step you would need to input these details. So if you can scan it onto your computer so that you're ready to input it at the right time, it will be good for you and it will reduce the complexity or the stressfulness of the process. Okay, so you have your NIN now, you've printed it out, that's good. Second thing you need is that if your child has a dual nationality, you need the original of the other nationality passport data page. Then you need your child's original copy of the birth certificate. You need the original copy of both parents' data page from their passport, and then you also need a letter of consent. So basically just you and your partner saying, okay, we're happy for our child to have a Nigerian passport, which is a proof of their nationality, and then both of you need to sign and date it. If it's not signed and dated by both persons, it's not going to be approved, so just know that up front. And you also need to bring this letter of consent. They would ask you for like local government papers, like a paper that kind of like declares that this child is from this local government. I spoke to lots of people that were at the passport office that didn't have it, but we had the opportunity to get my father-in-law to actually get that certificate, so he did have it, but no one asked us about it on the day. So once you've sorted out all the documents, you've put it in, you'll be asked to take your baby's picture as well, so have your baby on hand basically. So once you've done that, you have like digital passports that you can use to put your baby's picture up, then you're good to go. The next thing you would need to do is to make sure that you've been able to follow through with the entire process up until you get to the Innovate website where you can book an appointment date. And once you've booked an appointment date and you've made the payment and the booking has been confirmed, you need to go back and print the application, you need to print the payment slip, you need to print the appointment slip, you need to print all these things because you're going to require them to even enter into the High Commission. So moving on to what you actually need on the day. So when you look at the appointment slip, you might actually just see like 4 things that you need to come with for the appointment, but please discard that information. You need every single thing that you have put into the Innovate, because when I got there, for some reason I'm like, why do you redirect us to Innovate when you actually are not going to look through the documents? Like, what's the entire point if we're still going to stand on the line for the entire process to go through? Meanwhile, when you look at the top of your appointment, because a couple of days later they sent us an email that his application had been approved. So when you see application status, you see that it's been approved. But why exactly do we now still need to go through this interview process? I really don't know. But yeah, these are some of the things you just have to do to make sure that you get everything done and you don't have to beg people up and down. So yeah, on the day of the interview, if you don't come without your application slip, without your payment slip, you won't even be able to, without your appointment slip and your payment slip, you won't even be able to come inside. So that's one of the important things for you to even get into the venue. Another thing they tend to ask for at the gate or at the door is your special delivery and your special order. So you're supposed to have like a special delivery envelope. I'll put a picture up of it, and apart from that, you also supposed to have a £20 special order. So basically it's addressed to the Nigerian High Commission London, and that's how they're going to facilitate the sending of your passport back to your location. So if you don't have those things, they would actually send you to the nearby post office to get that sorted out. So if you don't want to have that experience, I advise you actually just do it from home. I can imagine how stressful it would be to walk through London streets looking for a post office when like you have a baby on you at the same time. So yeah, don't forget that. So let's just quickly go through the things that you actually need on the day of the interview so that you don't have to go around begging people, because this was me. I was like, Mom, on my knees, just help me. I can't go back to where I'm coming from. It's far. And she was like, it's fine, is it my problem? That's when you realize that power is actually intoxicating. I was like, Ma, please, I'm begging you, Ma. And she was just looking at me like, who is this joker? So just so that you will not be in that situation, you don't have to be begging people unnecessarily. Let me just tell you the things that you need to make sure you take there, so that you will just go there with like your poise, and you will leave with your poise at the same time, okay? So first of all, don't forget the appointment slip. Don't forget your payment slip. Those are 2 important things, okay? If you can even print out the application itself, print it out and give it to them, okay? Then you need your baby's NIN, a copy of that. You need a copy and the original of your baby's birth certificate. You need a copy and the original of your data pages. You need a letter of consent copy as well, signed by both parents, okay? You need your special delivery envelope. You need your special postal order of £20, okay? So these are the things that you need to make sure that you take there, and they will definitely collect those photocopies. So don't just say I'll go with the original. They'll send you to like an IT room where you need to do the photocopy before you now come back, and I think each photocopy is like £1.50. So at the end of the day, because of how much we forgot, we spent like maybe 12 or 14 pounds there, because also logging into his email, there's like some fee for printing, some fee for photocopying. At the end of the day, you just find out that you're spending so much money, and you probably have a printer at home. So if you can get everything ready from home, get it ready, my dear. All right then. So once you have all these documents, you should actually have a breeze if you arrive there on time. Arriving there 9, arriving there before 9 really depends on when you want to leave. Because if you arrive earlier and you join the queue earlier, obviously you'll be one of the first people to be seen. But if you arrive by 9 or arrive a bit later than 9, obviously the queue that usually goes into the road would have gone, so you just directly enter into the room, but obviously you'll be at the back of the line. So that's something to know. So going in now, you need to make sure you pick up your teller. Don't just be in a rush to go to the interview room, you don't have a teller. If you don't have a teller, you get to the interview room, she'll send you back out to get the teller. So get the teller that shows your number. That kind of helps them to know who came in first and things like that. So get that number, submit your phone, because if you don't submit your phone, it's another problem. Submit your phone. There's a number they give you when you submit your phone, and the person at the interview is going to ask you for those 2 numbers. It's crazy. So don't forget to do those things. Once you're on the queue for the interview, you have all your documents, so you're like standing ready and everything. Just go in there and be very polite. Like put in your polite cap. Even if like you're already used to the UK where everything is just smooth and easy, and you don't need to like be overly nice, or you don't need to suck up. That suck up, you used to suck up in Nigeria, suck it up again. Because literally that was just me. I was like, I'm gonna be on my best behavior here. You're going to see me as your daughter. By the time I'm going, I'll know that at least I've gotten everything done. So once we're done with it, took us a long process because we forgot some things, but once we're done with the interview, we're sent off for the biometrics. Unfortunately, for some reason that day, they forgot to call the children, because the interview room is downstairs and most adults don't need like the interview because they are renewing. So it's just like biometrics they're waiting for. So they were just calling adults, but eventually I'll call to them, which was really sad because it was past 12 and we had waited for some time. They then started calling the children, and I felt like they should have been priority to like children who had special needs, people who were disabled. I didn't really see that, and honestly it was really appalling at those points. But moving forward from that, eventually I was called for his biometrics. I put him on my lap and we had the picture taken, and that was done. We ended up leaving around 4:35, but that was because I did a change of name, which I'll talk about in a separate video. And honestly, I feel like change of name is a ghetto. Just prepare to spend your entire day there, because for some reason it always gets delayed from what they've told us. Like literally we're there and they're like, oh, just maybe it won't close if you're inside. I'm like, it won't close if you're inside, okay. Anyways, yeah, so these are the important details that you need to know before you go for your Nigerian passports for your baby. I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a seamless process. I hope there's not too much begging because you're armed with everything that you need. Yeah, so have a lovely time. Take care. Bye.